At first glance, Tiny Rogues doesn't seem like much. You look at it and it's just a box with some pixels. But if you look a little closer, you'll see that it's your pretty standard dungeon crawling fantasy RPG bullshit. You pick a class, they throw you into a room with your little toys and say, "Good luck, kid." And it starts off pretty easy. For the first few floors, you go around mutilating the poor schmucks, even the bosses. And you get stronger along the way as you find new weapons and armor. Nothing crazy. But then you blink and all of a sudden you've entered the 9th circle of bullet hell. The last 3 stages of this game are an absolute nightmare as you become overwhelmed by all these bullets thrown at you.
So what the fuck?
Memorize the attack patterns all you want, chump, but you're gonna get hit. A lot. Your best shot in beating this game is coming across an overpowered weapon and having a shoot-off between you and the boss to see who drops first. Spoilers, it's you.
What the fuck?
Now upon dying, you get the pleasure of doing it all over again. This time a little stronger from the blessings that you can buy at the starting menu. Or with someone new, as these adventures kind of pop up out of nowhere. And as for the runs themselves, they're just straight up fun. For starters, the weapons were surprisingly a lot better than I expected as they felt pretty unique from each other. You can go in with a knife and start shaking everyone you see, or use a bow and snipe from a distance. You know, the lame stuff. Or you can get into the coolest shit like maces where the hitbox is all chunky and strong. Or the twin axes, a tricky weapon where you gotta find the G-spot so you hit the enemy just right. Or the dual flails that circle around you and so you gotta distance yourself a little bit to consistently smack the fuck out of someone. Or you can use whatever the hell this is. The weapons in this game were just so much fun to play with as they give you slightly different ways to fight in an already limited top-down pixelated game. Now as for the enemies, they're pretty decent.
Uh-oh.
And if you're a super observant person like I am, you'll see that some of them look awfully familiar to enemies from other games. But anyway, with their simple attacks, I'd say they're pretty fair. Not only that, but some enemies can be cursed too. This obviously gives them more health, but it also gives them an excuse to spam out these weird hazards. But I can't complain. It makes the game more fun and challenging. And since we're on the topic of enemies, I like to discuss the bosses. I like the boss fights. The boss fights are fun. Succubus! No! I wouldn't be seduced by you. Fuck, I've been seduced. No, but seriously, the boss fights are pretty well done. And yeah, the ones toward the end are quite difficult and a little unfair, but at least they're generous enough to use their turn signals. The final thing I wanted to go over was the dungeon itself. I thought it was aight. Every single room is just an empty box filled with nothing but enemies. There's no interesting level design happening here. At this point, the bullets from the enemies are the level design, as you gotta dodge and weave through them. Anyway, upon clearing each room, you get to decide between different rewards. A stat boost, bomb, potions, keys, gold, blah 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 blah. But every now and then you'll come across these mystery rooms that give you special items.
Oh, that's hot.
But there's only one room I give a shit about, and it's the one that holds the slot machine.
I'm gonna fucking gamble my life away. Oh my god, I'm winning big.
Overall, the actual dungeon exploring isn't very interesting, but at least it's straightforward. And I feel like I can say that about Tiny Rogues as a whole. There's nothing too special or unique about the concept of this game. It's been done hundreds of times. However, it's executed beautifully and there's still a lot of fun to be had here. And the best part is, the developers went and slapped the price on it that makes you say some corny shit like, "This was worth every penny." This game was only $6. If that ain't a steal, then I don't know what is. So yeah, if you made it this far into the video, go buy it because you're clearly a little interested and it's so cheap. Now go, show. But before you go, be sure to like and subscribe.